Okay, yeah, welcome to these stops. So today I'm going to talk about these outcrops. These outcrops located in Batu Arang area in Bandar Tasik Puteri. It's a root cut outcrop lah in the Jalan Lembah Hijau, so over there. So this is a root cut. So this outcrop is quite weathered, as you see. But they still preserve some of the rock features over here, so we can do the further studies over here. So today I'm going to show you some of the few observations that you can do over here. Okay, here you can see a lot of layers of the rocks. Okay, they are different colors. Generally, there are some dippings showing in the rock layers over here. There are some reddish layers over there. They are a bit muddy, finer grains. And on top you have some light yellowish colors layers, which is a bit more sandy. Later on we can get a closer view on this and see how is the different textures and the grain size of the rocks. Except for this, we also can see the yellowish color layers, the sandy layers. They are cutting by a lot of veins, especially at the bottom part of the outcrops over here. So those veins are quite vertical, okay, and they are quite thin. They are maybe only 1-2 mm in thickness, and the composition of the vein, they are quartz. Okay, so yeah, from there maybe we can interpret some of the paleo stress direction later on when we do detailed measurements on the directions, and we see yeah, we can do the interpretation later on. Okay, so now we are going to do descriptions or like some observations in the field, in the outcrops, and then do some recordings on your notes book. Yeah, so just now we already done the coordinates, the coordinate of this location already noted down using your GPS device, and then we also can recording down the today's date. Today's date is 3rd, today 5th, okay, 5th August 2023. So the time I think now is like maybe 10 o'clock. Okay. Locations is this in Batu Arang area, and this is the roadside of Jalan Lembah Hijau, Bandar Tasik Puteri. Okay, something like this. Yeah, GPS is actually good enough just for extra information over here. This roadside. It's a cut. Okay, it's a slope here. And then now we can observe these outcrops. See what we want to. It depends on the objective of your studies. But for this, I take the general geology studies as a purpose of this trips. So means we are going to record the lithology informations and as well as major structures that we can see over here. So I choose this part of the outcrop as my study focusing areas. So this area we can see there are reddish layers, okay, and then there are lighter yellowish color layers over here. And yeah, this is more or less maybe more than 1 meter. Later on we can do some measurement using your ruler or anything that you can measure the thickness. We can see a texture difference. So the reddish layers over here, they are a bit more smooth surface. Normally fine grain rocks, they're showing more smoother surface. They don't show like rough surface. Normally more coarser grain they show rough. And this reddish one, they are quite smooth, and then they are quite yeah, you don't feel any grain when you smash it. Yeah, they are just very fine grains. Okay, so these mudstone kind of rocks, and they are layers. So this is sedimentary rocks, and didn't show any metamorphism features. They are still like quite originally, okay, look like. And then the yellowish layers over here, yeah, compared to top, you can see they are relatively rough. You can see a lot of like, they are not smooth surface like the mudstones, so they are a bit rough. So they are a bit coarser grains compared to the top. So they are sandstone. Okay, so this is sandstone, and then this one, the reddish one, is reddish mudstones. And these sandstones, by color you can differentiate. They are different rocks from the mudstones, as well as the deformation will also be different. in the sandstone, you can see there are more brittle deformations that indicate by this vein. A lot of vein cutting into sandstone compared to mudstone. Mudstone, you don't see anything basically. Yeah, partly it's because sandstone is more brittle compared to mudstones. So when you're more brittle, you have more brittle deformations. You can form fractures and then later on filled up by minerals, form veins. So there are quite a lot of veins over here. So later on we can do the measurements. Another thing that we are going to do is like we are going to do a little bit of scratching. For example, we want to do the study in this particular section. Okay. So we have seen there are reddish mudstones with major bedding plans over here. So on top, you see there are reddish mudstone. We use the mudstone symbol dash indicate they are mudstones. So yeah, until maybe this layer on top, there's again another sandstone layer. So later on, you do some measurement, measure what is the thickness of these reddish mudstones. I think maybe more than 1 meter. I think maybe 1.2 meters over here. Reddish mudstone. Okay. And bottom is the base over here. So we see a lot of sandstone layers over here. We use dot to indicate there's a sand. The exposed sections over here, maybe the narrows part over here, maybe have maybe about like 60-70 cm, about 0.6 meter maybe. The widest one maybe about 1 meter over here. Yeah, about 1 meter. Just put about 1 meter. So these are light yellowish sandstone. Okay, we also can note down their directions. These directions and the scale. Direction first. The left side and the right side. What's the direction of this outcrop? Using our compass, and then we can rotate. Overlap the north arrow with the red arrow at the bottom. So we got, this is the 668, another 248. So 68, 248. This side. Okay. Finish this one. We can do the scale, horizontal scale of this area. So roughly estimates, you can do your measurements. But I think like this about 1 meter. Yeah, so inside sandstone, just now we say there are a lot of veins. So we can see they are quite systematic. They are cutting like this few. Okay, another one maybe go a bit this way. Okay, and over there there's a big vein over there. So I can draw a bit bigger over here. They are a bit more complex. Yeah, there are multiple occurrence of vein over here. Okay. Later on we can add more if necessary. Okay. So those are veins. Quartz veins. So quartz vein. This one. Okay. Yeah. Overall, yeah. So that's it. Okay, so now we are going to do a measurements for this vein. One of the vein, we're taking this one is the examples. So this vein appear over here. This vein that I'm going to measure. So this vein is quite vertical. And this one is a bit special. I think they are a bit iron rich. This vein, darker color. So we can put our compass align with the plane of the veins. So yeah, more or less like this. And then we rotate our compass, and then we overlap north arrow and the arrow at the bottom. I think they are a bit dipping to our left hand side. Left hand side a bit west. So I will take these directions because our strike is over there. So the strike is 160. Okay, 160. About 160. Okay, and then now we are going to do our deep measurements. So now we already adjust our compass. 90 over here, 0 over there, 90 again over there. So this is for the vertical plans. So as we see now, the plane of the vein is quite vertical. So we should expect our reading is quite high, 80 plus degrees. So yeah, the surface is a bit rough, but I think I just take more or less a rough estimations over here. So I think it's about like this. So more or less they are aligned these directions. So they are 85, like about 85 over here, 84, 85 degrees over here. Okay. So in overall, the reading for this vein will be 160, 85 for this vein. So it's a bit iron rich, so I say iron rich vein, this one.